Good afternoon, everybody. It's Fred Anderson here. I'm the coordinator and head trainer for Awaken the Spirit. We're currently doing a workshop up in Zabalas for Ihatasat First Nation, and it's been a really good week up there. I'm told that the participants that are there is the most they've had sit through an entire workshop for many years. So I'm pretty happy and kind of proud of that. And I kind of knew it anyway that they would love the humor that's there, that it's a program that inspires, that uplifts, that motivates, that gets you out of your comfort zone and gets to you put yourself into a new light so you'll never look at yourself the same again. I asked many of them, how many of you here don't like your picture being taken? And the majority of them put their hands up and I say, look, it doesn't even look like me. I look like I'm too chubby. And they go, well, you are. And the point is that people don't like to look at themselves even physically. So what we've done is we've developed these programs instead of looking at issues, that look at problems, that look at pain, that look at their past. We want to look at your potential, why we go through the things that we do. What happens when you try to avoid tough times or setbacks or failures in your life? What happens? Many of us, when we try to avoid them, something in you dies. And we get too comfortable. Those are the people that you see that are comfortable being negative. They say, well, that's just the way I am and nobody's going to change me. And that's the way you'll always be. And you'll become known as the gossiper. You'll become known as the angry one. You become known as the one that speaks their mind. But you don't know that you're hurting other people around us. I was told that there's actually a psychological term that they have now for that people, the ones next to you, can physically make you sick. It's called relational illness. And it's a counseling term that is used today, that your partner can make you sick. Why do I constantly have stomach problems? Why do I have back problems? Why do I have migraine headaches all day long? Sometimes it's because we're around negativity all day long. And you never try and get out of that or try to change. That's why you have a good friend one year, you go everywhere together and you're like the best of friends, you're like this, and a year later you're like this. You don't even talk. The reason why is because one of you grew and somebody stayed behind. And I don't want to be the one who stays behind. I asked our participants in Zabalas, how many of you here know of people that should be here and aren't? And every one of them put up their hand. So I encouraged them, invite other people to come next week. Invite your partner, invite your son, invite your daughter, invite your brother, invite your sister, because everything that we do is designed to uplift your spirit, to make you feel better than you are right now in your current reality. And I never want people to use my workshop material as a weapon. I don't want you to go home and say, oh, you should have seen what I learned at that workshop. You're really messed up, or get out. I want them to show that they haven't had that much in their life and you've got so much more to give. And Awaken the Spirit has done this for years. So you can check us out online, www.awakenthespirit.ca, and you can be able to see that, you know what? You can change. We're going to change anyway. You may as well make your change a good one. Make it a positive one. Some people I've seen have never moved away from their community. They've lived there and they're 60 years old wearing the same jacket they did when they were 25. And I could never imagine living my life that way. And that's what we're designing this to do. Get you out of your comfort zone and get you to see yourself in a different space. And I shared with our people there, I said, how many of you here have goals or dreams? They don't have to be big. How many of you got one? They put their hands up. I said, how many of you have wrote it down, got it down on paper? Nobody, not one person did. And I said, you know what? If you don't write it down, it's only a wish. You need to put it down on paper. You need to even put a time of when. You got to have something to live for. If you change on the inside, your outside follows. I share this everywhere that I go, that every thought you think is creating your future, that the point of the power is always in the present moment. That means you can change anytime if you really wanted to. And I have. 1994, I took the biggest fall of my life, and I was 9 years, 10 months clean, and I fell, and I relapsed. I went to court for what happened to us when we were kids in all the foster homes, and they acquitted those people that hurt us. And what happened thereafter, I relapsed and I went all the way back to Edmonton, and I went back to the way I was. Except this time, I became a drug addict. Except this time, I got involved with people I shouldn't get involved with. It was really, really difficult for that. It took me 10 years to come back. And I overdosed twice in those days. So in reality, my creator, I am where I am. I don't regret anything I've gone through in my life, because I wouldn't be standing here today. I wouldn't be traveling all over the country sharing my story with other people and telling me, you know what? I know I know where you've been, because I've been there myself. You know what? I remember when I was coming back, and my mother said, son, you should get back out there and share your life again. I said, never. I'll never go back out there. I love doing art. I'm an artist now, and I love to do artwork, and that's all I'm going to do. She goes, our people need you. I said, look at my life, Mom. Look at my past. Look at where I came from. And my mother, being a Christian, she said, you know what? Jesus didn't pick all the people that got degrees and masters in this and masters in that and philosophy. He picked murderers, he picked liars, and he picked thieves, because they've been there. And sometimes society today looks at it differently. I've been there. And you know what? I live an honest life today. You know what? My wife, 15 years we've been together. I've never gone astray, not one time. And in my past, when I was clean and sober before, I womanized. I had relationships in every city that I went into. I still hung out in bars and nightclubs. And to this day, I have never set foot in a bar or a place where there's liquor, not one time for 13 years. February 1 is my clean date. And every year I celebrate my clean date. And I know that you could be standing where I am, and being happy and sharing your joy with other people. I always tell people, if you laugh and recover, you'll last. If you laugh in your relationship lasts. Keep that humor going, because when you laugh, it triggers off that chemical in your brain called endorphins. It floods your whole system, makes your whole body feel better, and it heals sickness. And endorphins, you've heard of that, but what is the meaning of endorphins? Endorphins means morphine within. That's the meaning of endorphins. Morphine within. And when you don't trigger that off on the inside, you don't laugh enough, you don't do enough, you don't get up and move, you don't put your stuff into action, then what happens? You try to find it outside of yourself in other ways. And sometimes people abuse themselves trying to find that joy, and you'll never find it in substances ever. If you have to drink or drug to be happy, there's something wrong. So I know that our people have a great sense of humor. I'm looking forward to a good week in Zabalas. I'm going to be giving away some of my prints while I'm there. You can see my wolves. I'll be giving away. I've got my hummingbird design. So I've got about 15 different designs that I'm going to be giving away in Zabalas, because every one of my designs has a story that has to do with family, recovery, relationships, and healing. And my artwork talks. And you know what? People will talk about my work for years to come. Long after I'm gone, my artwork will stay alive. So I look forward to this week, and have a great day. Thank you very much. And www.awakenthespirit.ca. Check me out online. And if you ever have an event coming up and you want something good to happen, call me. Okay? I look forward to bringing some joy into your event.